Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about Supernatural, this time episode 1107, titled Plush, which premiered Wednesday, November 18th, 2015 on the CW. And it's probably a weird episode, maybe not, but it's definitely a standalone. So before we get started, just a reminder, if you haven't seen the episode yet, please go do so first. I'd hate for my thoughts and opinions to ruin your own experience of the episode. It was definitely a fun and interesting one to see just because we see a familiar face, and I'm going to be spoiling the hell out of it, so I don't want any of my own thoughts and opinions to ruin your own take on it. So with that said, 10-minute clock, and let's begin. What is something new that we learned in this episode? So in regards to God and the darkness, Dean doesn't like that Sam is praying to God for answers. We know this previously, but Dean is really laying it on thick in the fact that Sam is trying to turn to this entity that has never been there for them in any of their previous battles before. So why would Sam want to turn to someone who's never been there for them when they've always had to rely on themselves, in a sense? So we get that little vibe there. And Sam does confide in Dean about his latest vision being about Lucifer's cage, which worries Dean. He doesn't want to go down that route again for sure, and I don't blame him. Based on the case of the episode, it could stand as, well, a standalone. But we see Sheriff Donna call up the Winchesters when a vengeful spirit possessing people wearing costumes do his bidding for him. And if you remember, the last time we saw Sheriff Donna was at that sheriff convention where she met Jody Mills in episode 1008, I believe it is. Let me just double check quickly. I believe it's 1008. Yeah, 1008. What is something shocking that for me in this episode? It's not really a shocking as in like plot wise, but it was just character wise. It was shocking to see Donna being a bit hostile to Sheriff Doug. Since Donna is always this happy-go-lucky, peppy, always looking on the bright side of things, she just has that very cheerful attitude towards everyone, so it's kind of weird when she was kind of off-putting and very authoritative towards Doug, as if, like, do as I say, don't question it, type thing, even though he's trying to, like, be on her good side because he has a little crush on her. So it's just surprising to see Donna acting like that, but it makes sense why she would, because apparently she doesn't want to give him the wrong idea, or she doesn't want to start something that she's afraid will lead to what she had with her ex-husband. So there's that. 3 favorite moments for the episode. Definitely Sheriff Donna's return. She's a fun and unique character. It was great to see her take on what it means to be hunting, because this is an episode where she's completely aware of what's happening. First time we see her in 913, she's completely unaware of the supernatural. 1008, when we see her next, is when she gets pulled in and she discovers that the supernatural does exist. And this episode, she's fully embraced the supernatural, and she's involved in the case every step of the way with nothing being held back from her. So it's great to see her return, great to see how Sam and Dean explain things towards her in this case, how a ghost possession case would work. And it was just great to see her taking everything in stride, and not necessarily, she's very helpful, I'll just say that, and her comments and her reactions to things was just breath of fresh air for sure. Next favorite moment was Dean's bonding jokes with Donna. He's always making these little quips, especially with the killer bunny head, jokes about a wild hair, what's up doc. Donna seems to love him, just finding the humor in something that's so grim seems to be the thing for the two, so I just like that they kind of bonded over that. Even Dean bringing up that Doug had a crush on her, and she was like, I am not talking about this with you. It's like, it was fun, for sure. Next favorite moment, it shouldn't be, but it was the moment when Sam is in the elevator and that clown comes in, and he just killed the coach in his hospital room. But Sam's reaction to seeing that clown, he's just standing there so still and frozen, and the clown is just taking his bloody hand and pushing the elevator button and then turning around with the scalpel in his hand and just staring at Sam. And Sam's like, oh, crap. Do I fight him? Do I not fight him? And eventually Sam decides to take the scalpel, try to separate the scalpel from the clown. And he eventually got to release the spirit from the clown. But still, Sam's reaction to the clown was just surprising. Not surprising, but it was still funny, and especially with Sam being this tall guy to begin with. And yeah, it was just funny, for sure. Top 3 peeved moments. There's only one. It's in general, basically. Since this was a standalone episode, there was no news about the darkness or about God, except for like their mention of it at the beginning and the end of the episode between Sam and Dean, and the whole praying thing. But I thought there would be something about it in this episode, especially since last week we learned that the darkness is God's sister. But since we didn't really learn anything new about those two, we'd have to wait until the new episode, which doesn't air until 2 weeks from now, and I'll get back to that later. So, what will I remember most about this episode? Donna's return, for sure, and the fact that a killer bunny started it all is kind of not something you can miss, for sure. So, random questions, just one, but what do you think about the cage? Do you think answers can be found there with Lucifer and Michael? It's like a part of me is hoping that we will get to see the cage and we will see Michael and Lucifer again, but then there's a part of me that doesn't want to see that, because then I know that it's going to only cause more trouble for Sam and Dean. So it's like, on the one hand, I want to, but on the one hand, I don't want to because of the ramifications behind it, if that makes sense. So, predictions. Like I mentioned just before, there's no new episode next week because of Thanksgiving in the United States. So, episode 1108 doesn't air until the following week, which is December 2nd. And this episode marks the directorial debut, I believe, for Richard Spigot Jr., who plays the Trickster and Gabriel on Supernatural. So it was a great way to have him back on the show without actually seeing him on screen, even though I wish Gabriel was alive and we could see him again. I missed him. And apparently the episode features Sam's old imaginary friend coming back. Don't know why that happens or anything, but it will definitely be interesting. But apparently we're going to see flashbacks of little Sam with his imaginary friend, and then we're going to see older Sam with his imaginary friend. So that's going to be an interesting and crazy fun episode, I believe. Richard actually teased it at one of the conventions, I think last month, that it was a fun episode to shoot, and he was glad that the episode they gave him had comedic moments, I guess, because for him, I guess everything's fun. Or I guess I don't see why nothing would be fun. That cast is very fun-loving, and it's amazing how they can get any of the very heartbroken, very dark and dangerous stuff filmed. It's crazy. So predictions. Lucifer's cage, I believe, will appear either in more visions or because someone tries to open it. Don't know if that's going to happen for before the winter holiday starts, or if it's the first part of the episodes that return in the new season or in the new year. So I believe it's not the last we have seen at the cage. Last prediction, Amara's on the loose as of last episode, so we're going to see how she's doing without Crowley watching over her. Is she doing better? Is she doing worse? Is she struggling? Is she on a feeding binge? Don't know, kind of worried, but it may be possible that the next time we see Amara, it's going to be the adult version of Amara. Either it's young adult or the adult version we saw in the premiere. So there's that. Don't know why we didn't see Castiel in this episode, but since he is recovered, it'll be interesting to see just what he was doing, unless he's binge watching again another TV show. So there's that, and that's about it. So what did you guys think of the episode? Did you like it that it was a standalone case type thing, or were you hoping to get back in the bigger plot of the darkness and God and stuff like that? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Even if you picked up on other things that maybe I didn't talk about, bring it up in the comment. I'd love to just read what you guys have to say. It'd be great. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and to share this with all your other friends in the Supernatural fandom family. Spread the word around. Let's keep building this fandom going. Fandom up, sorry. Got a little confused there. But yeah, let's just keep this growing for sure. Let's keep the ball rolling. Also, if you want any more news involving Supernatural, whether that is synopses, casting, sneak peeks, Tumblr GIFs, anything like that, check out my Tumblr page. Link for that will be down below. I usually reblog everything towards each other. Oh, so close. Anyway, reblog everything there anyway, so just check it out. Also, if you want a more detailed recap of the episode itself, check out my LiveJournal account. A link for that will be down below. It's basically a play-by-play of what happened in the episode, in case you wanted something like that. Also, it includes my my opinions or my thoughts in the moment as I'm watching it, because I write it down while I'm watching. So, yeah. Also, just on a side news, but if you haven't seen my Walking Dead video for 606, then you don't know the fact that Jeffrey Dean Morgan, everyone here knows him as John Winchester. He has been cast to play the villain on The Walking Dead. So if you want to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan play a different role, then go check that out. I'm definitely excited to see that, and a little worried because I don't know if I want him to be a villain, since I'm used to him being the father of the heroes here. So, there's that. So, with that said, early happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the United States or anyone else who's celebrating next week. Also, be safe, everyone, and don't do something you're going to regret, for sure. But this is Mel, wishing you all a great day, a great week, a safe day and a safe week, and to have fun wherever you are. So, bye for now.